Lisa Martinez sat in the big meeting room on the space station. Around her, aliens from many different worlds talked in loud voices. She was the only human there. The other aliens were much taller than her. Some had blue skin, others had scales, and a few had extra arms. "The humans will give us their planet's metals," said the Kethter leader. His voice was deep and scary. "If they do not, we will take them by force." Lisa stood up slowly. Her heart was beating fast, but she tried to look calm. "Earth will not give up its resources. We have rights too." The other aliens laughed. The Kethter leader smiled, showing sharp teeth. "Your small ships cannot stop our great fleet. You humans are weak." Far away on Earth, Dr. Amy Foster was working in the hot desert. She had been digging in the sand for 3 months. Her team was looking for old things buried long ago. The sun was very hot, and everyone was tired. "Dr. Foster, come. Look at this," called her helper, Ben. He was standing next to a deep hole they had dug. Amy walked over and looked down. There was something shiny and metal deep in the ground. It was not like anything she had seen before. The metal was smooth and seemed to glow a little. "This is very old," Amy said. "Maybe thousands of years old, but it looks new." She took out her scanner and pointed it at the metal. The machine started making noise. Numbers appeared on the screen that made no sense. The scanner was going crazy. "Ben, step back," Amy said, but it was too late. The scanner sent out a bright flash of light. The metal thing in the ground started to glow brighter. Deep under the sand, something very old was waking up. Captain Ryan Brooks was flying his ship near Jupiter. He was checking the area for any problems. His job was to keep Earth safe, but everyone knew Earth did not have many weapons. The human fleet was small compared to other alien fleets. "Captain, I'm seeing something strange," said his helper. Tom. He was looking at the screen that showed what was around them. "What is it?" Ryan asked. "There are big objects appearing out of nowhere. They just showed up." Ryan looked at his screen. Huge metal structures were floating in space. They were bigger than his ship, much bigger. They looked like they had been there forever, but his instruments said they just appeared. "How many?" Ryan asked. "50. No, wait, 100. More are still appearing." The structures were dark and silent. They looked like weapons, but they were not shooting. They were just floating there, waiting. On Earth, Amy's scanner had stopped working. The metal thing in the ground was now glowing very bright. She and her team ran back to their camp. All their machines were acting strange. "Doctor, look at this," Ben said. He was pointing at their computer. Words were appearing on the screen, but they were not typing anything. "Terran Defense Grid online," the computer said. "Threat assessment in progress." Amy felt cold despite the hot desert air. "Terran means Earth. What is a defense grid?" The computer kept typing. "Ancient protocols active. Scanning for hostile forces." At the same time, Commander Jake Sullivan was at the Earth Defense Center. All the alarms were going off. His people were running around, trying to understand what was happening. "Sir, we have contacts all over the solar system," said one of his workers. "Big objects are appearing everywhere." Jake looked at the big screen that showed the whole solar system. There were red dots everywhere, hundreds of them. They were around Earth, near the Moon, by Mars, and even far out by Neptune. "Are they enemy ships?" Jake asked. "No, sir. They are ours. Somehow they are ours." Back at the space station, Lisa was still arguing with the Kethter leader. He was getting angry. "You have 1 day to decide," he said. "Give us your medals, or we will take them." Lisa's phone started buzzing. It was a message from Earth. She read it quickly. Her eyes got very wide. "I think you should know something," Lisa said to the room. Earth is not as defenseless as you think. The Kefter leader laughed. Your few ships cannot stop our great fleet. We will see, Lisa said quietly. The next day, the Kefter fleet moved toward Earth. There were hundreds of their ships. They were big and had many weapons. The Kefter leader was sure he would win easily. Captain Ryan was still near Jupiter when he saw the enemy fleet. His small ship could not fight so many enemies. He called Earth for help. Earth Defense, this is Captain Brooks. The Kefter fleet is coming. We need help. Help is coming, said Commander Sullivan's voice. Suddenly, the dark structures that had appeared started to glow. Lights came on all over them. They were not just floating metal anymore. They were alive with power. The Kefter fleet kept coming. They were almost at Earth when something amazing happened. Beams of blue light shot out from the dark structures. The beams hit every Kefter ship at the same time. But the beams did not destroy the ships. Instead, they stopped them. The Kefter ships could not move. They could not shoot their weapons. They were stuck in space like flies in a web. The Kefter leader tried to contact his ships, but none of them answered. In just a few seconds, his whole fleet was helpless. On Earth, Amy was still in the desert. The glowing metal thing was now talking to her through her broken computer. Defense successful, it said. Threat neutralized. All systems functioning. Amy looked at the words on the screen. She had found something that had been sleeping under the sand for thousands of years. Something that had been waiting to protect. Earth, what are you? She asked. We are the Guardians, the computer answered. We have been waiting for you to find us. Now Earth is safe. Lisa smiled as she watched the alien leaders on the space station. They were all very quiet now. The strong Kefter leader looked scared. As I said, Lisa told them, Earth is not defenseless. We just forgot how strong we really are. The news spread across the galaxy very fast. The strong Kefter Empire had been stopped by humans. Nobody could believe it. For over 100 years, everyone thought humans were weak. They made food and dug metals from the ground. They had small ships and simple weapons. But now, hundreds of huge weapon platforms floated around Earth. The Kefter fleet was still stuck in space. Unable to move, Dr. Amy Foster was back in the desert with a bigger team. General Paul Adams had come from Earth's military center. He was a tall man with gray hair who looked very serious. Dr. Foster, we need to know what this thing is, he said, pointing at the metal structure they had found. Amy nodded. We are trying to learn, but it is very old. Maybe 50,000 years old. 50,000 years? General Adams said. But humans were not advanced 50,000 years ago. We were just starting to make tools. That is what we thought, Amy said. But maybe we were wrong. A young man named Alex Chon was working on the computers. He was an engineer who fixed machines. But when he touched the ancient metal, something strange happened. The metal started to glow, and words appeared on the screen. Alex, what did you do? Amy asked. Alex looked confused. I just touched it. But now I can ... I can hear it talking to me. In my head. General Adams stepped closer. What is it saying? Alex closed his eyes and listened. It says it has been waiting. It says humans built this long ago, but then they went away. The machines stayed here to protect Earth. Amy felt excited. Can you ask it questions? Alex nodded and put his hand on the metal again. I asked it about the humans who built it. It is showing me pictures in my mind. Alex's eyes opened wide. The humans who built this were very advanced. They had ships that could travel anywhere in the galaxy. They had cities on many worlds. They were very powerful. What happened to them? General Adams asked. Alex listened again. They ... They chose to forget. They made themselves simple again. They hid all their technology and went back to being basic humans. Why would they do that? Amy asked. The machine says they saw something bad coming. If they stayed powerful, it would destroy the galaxy. So they chose to save everyone by giving up their power. On the space station, Ambassador Lisa Martinez was in meeting after meeting. Alien leaders from all over the galaxy wanted to talk to her. Some were scared, some were angry, and some wanted to be friends. How many more weapons does Earth have? Asked the leader of the Zorvan people. She was a blue woman with 4 arms. We do not know, Lisa said honestly. We are still learning about our own defenses. This changes everything, said another alien leader. If humans are this powerful, the whole galaxy will be different. Lisa tried to stay calm. We do not want to control anyone. We just want to be safe. But she knew things would never be the same. Earth was no longer the small, weak planet that nobody cared about. Back on Earth, Alex was learning more from the ancient machines. He had found out that he could connect his mind to the defense grid. It was scary, but also amazing. The grid is everywhere, he told Dr. Foster. Not just around Earth. There are hidden bases on many worlds. The ancient humans put them there to watch and protect. Are they all working? Amy asked. Some are sleeping, but they are starting to wake up. The grid is connected across the whole galaxy. General Adams looked worried. If these bases are on other worlds, the aliens will find them. They will think we are invading. Alex shook his head. The bases are hidden very well. Most of them are. Underground or in space where no one goes. They have been there for thousands of years without being found. But now they are waking up, Amy said. What will they do? Alex touched the metal again. They will protect. That is what they were made for. They will stop wars and help people who are in trouble. Captain Ryan Brooks was still in space, watching. The stuck Kethter ships. His orders were to keep an eye on them, but he was also exploring the new defense platforms. Captain, I am getting readings from the nearest platform, said his helper Tom. It wants to talk to us. Ryan flew his ship closer. The platform was huge, bigger than a city. It had weapons that looked very powerful. But it also had other things. Machines that he did not recognize. This is Captain Brooks, he said into his radio. Can you hear me? A voice came back, but it was not human. It was the machine talking. Captain Brooks, we have been waiting for you. Your ship is old. We can make it better. Make it better how? We have new technology. Your engines can be faster. Your weapons can be stronger. We can help you. Ryan was not sure. I need to ask my leaders first. We understand, but know that we want to help humans. That is why we exist. On many worlds across the galaxy, strange things were happening. On the planet Kilos, a mining company was digging deep holes. They found a smooth metal wall that they could not break. When they touched it, it started to glow. On the world of Nexus, scientists found energy readings coming from an empty area of space. When they sent a probe to look, they found a huge invisible structure floating there. Everywhere, the ancient human technology was waking up. It had been sleeping for thousands of years, but now was time to work again. The alien governments were starting to worry. Some decided to work with Earth. Others decided that humans were too dangerous and needed to be stopped. Ambassador, Lisa got a message from 3 different alien groups. The first group wanted to be friends with Earth. The second group wanted to attack Earth before humans got too strong. The third group wanted to stay out of the fight and see what happened. We are in the middle of something very big, Lisa told General Adams on a video call. The galaxy is splitting into different sides. What do you think we should do? He asked. We need to be ready. The ancient humans built these defenses for a reason. I think we are going to need them. Alex Chun, was spending more time connected to the grid. He could see through sensors all over the galaxy. He could feel when the ancient bases were waking up. It was like having 1,000 eyes. "Dr. Foster," he said, "I need to tell you something important. The grid is not just for defense. It has other abilities too." "What kind of abilities?" "It can build things very fast. It can make energy from nothing. It can even talk to people across the galaxy instantly." Amy felt amazed. The ancient humans were more advanced than we ever imagined. Yes, but they also made mistakes. I can see their memories in the grid. They became too powerful and started to control other people. That is why they chose to forget everything. And now we have their power, Amy said quietly. Yes, the question is, what will we do with it? General Adams was getting reports from all over Earth. The defense platforms were not just weapons. They were also making things, new materials, new energy sources, new technologies that humans had never seen before. "Sir," said one of his assistants, "the platforms are offering to upgrade all our ships and weapons. They say they can make our technology 1,000 times better." "What do you think?" General Adams asked. "I think we should be careful. Power like this can change people. Maybe that is why the ancient humans gave it up." But even as they talked, the galaxy was changing. Other alien races were forming alliances. Some wanted to destroy Earth before humans became too strong. Others wanted Earth's protection from their enemies. War was coming. The ancient defense grid had saved Earth from the Kethter, but bigger threats were gathering. Soon, humans would have to decide what kind of people they wanted to be. Alex Chun felt it all through the grid. Ships were moving, weapons were being prepared, and armies were gathering. The galaxy was about to explode into the biggest war it had ever seen. "We need to be ready," he told Amy. "The real test is coming." 3 months had passed since the Kethter fleet was stopped. The galaxy was now split into 3 groups. The first group wanted to be friends with Earth. They called themselves the Protectorate. The second group wanted to destroy Earth before humans became too strong. They called themselves the Dominion. The third group wanted to stay out of the fight and see what happened. Captain Ryan Brooks was exploring space with his upgraded ship. The ancient defense platforms had made his ship much faster and stronger. He could now travel to places that used to take months to reach. "Captain, I am finding more of those ancient structures," said Tom, who was still his helper. "They are on 17 different worlds now." Ryan looked at his screen. Each world had a small red dot showing where the ancient human technology was found. "Are they all active?" "Some are still sleeping, but more wake up every day." "The aliens on those worlds are getting scared." Ryan understood why. Finding out that ancient humans had built secret bases on your world thousands of years ago was frightening. It meant humans had been watching for a very long time. Dr. Amy Foster was now working with teams on 6 different worlds. Every place they dug, they found more ancient human technology. The bases were not just weapons, they were complete cities, hidden underground. "This is incredible," Amy told Alex Chun over the video screen. The ancient humans did not just visit these worlds, they lived here. They had families and built homes. Alex was still connected to the defense grid most of the time. He could feel the ancient bases waking up across the galaxy. "The grid is showing me their memories." The ancient humans were not invaders. They were protectors. They helped other species grow and learn. "What happened to them?" Amy asked. "They became too powerful. Other species started to depend on them too much. The ancient humans realized they were stopping other people from growing strong themselves. So they decided to step back and let the galaxy develop on its own. But they left the defenses behind. Yes, they knew that someday the galaxy would need protection again. They hoped their descendants, us, would be wiser than they were. Commander Jake Sullivan was at Earth's Defense Center, watching the big screen that showed the whole galaxy. 3 large fleets were moving toward Earth. The Dominion was finally ready to attack. How many ships are coming? He asked his assistant. Over 3,000 ships from 17 different species. They are all working together. Jake felt worried. Even with the ancient defenses, 3,000 ships was a lot. What does Alex think? He says the grid can handle it. But he also says this will activate defenses on other worlds. The whole galaxy will see what the ancient humans built. Senator Karen White was in the government building on Earth. She was the leader of Earth's council. Many people were scared about the coming war. Senator White, said one of her advisors, some people think we should surrender. They say fighting will only make things worse. Karen shook her head. We cannot surrender. If we do, other species will think they can attack us any time they want. We must show that Earth will defend itself. But what if we become like the ancient humans? What if we become too powerful and start controlling others? That is a risk we will have to take. But first, we must survive. The Dominion fleet was getting closer to Earth. Their leader was a being called Vex Tar from the Kralin Empire. He was sure that if they attacked fast and hard, they could destroy Earth before the defenses could respond. All ships, prepare for attack, Vexstar commanded. We will hit them with everything at once. But Alex Chun was watching through the grid. He could see the enemy ships coming from very far away. The ancient technology was much better than anything the aliens had. Dr. Foster, Alex said, they are coming. 3,000 ships. But the grid is ready. Amy was in her tent in the desert, watching her computer. What will the grid do? It will not just defend Earth. It will defend everywhere. The ancient bases on other worlds will activate. The whole galaxy will see what humans built long ago. Captain Ryan was near Mars when the Mars attack began. The enemy ships appeared at the edge of the solar system and started shooting. But the ancient defense platforms were ready. Blue beams of light shot out from hundreds of hidden platforms. But this time, they did not just stop the enemy ships. They created shields around Earth, Mars, and all the human colonies. The enemy weapons could not get through. Captain Brooks, came Alex's voice over the radio. The grid is activating bases on other worlds. You need to see this. Ryan looked at his screen. All across the galaxy, red dots were appearing. The ancient bases were waking up and showing themselves. On some worlds, huge structures rose from the ground. On others, invisible shields appeared in space. But the most amazing thing was happening on worlds where people were fighting wars. The ancient bases were stopping the fighting. They were creating peace zones where no weapons could work. On the planet Zelios, 2 armies had been fighting for 10 years. Suddenly, a huge metal structure appeared between them. All their weapons stopped working. A voice spoke in their minds. This conflict ends now. There will be peace. On the world of Kefter, the home planet of the species that had first threatened, Earth, ancient human technology, was shutting down their weapon factories. The Kefter leaders were angry, but they could not stop it. What is happening? Demanded the Kefter war leader. The humans have technology on our world, said his assistant. It has been there for thousands of years. We just never found it. Back at Earth, the battle was not going well for the Dominion. Their 3,000 ships could not get through the shields. Worse, their weapons were being turned off by the ancient technology. Vexstar was angry. How can they have defenses on our own worlds? This is impossible. But it was not impossible. The ancient humans had prepared for this exact situation. They had built their bases everywhere, hidden and waiting. Alex Chun was feeling the power of the entire grid now. He could control technology on hundreds of worlds. It was amazing, but also scary. He was starting to understand why the ancient humans had given up this power. "Alex," came Dr. Foster's voice. "Are you okay? You have been connected for 6 hours." Alex opened his eyes. "I am fine, but I understand now. The grid is not just about fighting. It is about keeping peace. The ancient humans were trying to stop wars across the galaxy. Is that what we are doing now? Yes, the grid is ending conflicts everywhere, but it is also making other species depend on us, just like what happened to the ancient humans." The battle around Earth was over. The Dominion fleet was stopped, just like the Kethter had been. But now the entire galaxy knew that humans had secret technology everywhere. Ambassador Lisa Martinez was getting calls from leaders all over the galaxy. Some were angry, some were scared, and some wanted to make deals. Ambassador Martinez said, "The leader of the Vorthan Republic, your people have been watching us for thousands of years. How do we know you are not planning to control us?" Lisa tried to stay calm. "We did not even know about this technology until a few months ago. We are not planning to control anyone." "But you could if you wanted to," the Vorthan leader said. "That is what scares us." Lisa realized that the galaxy would never trust humans again. Even though they were trying to help, other species would always be afraid of human power. General Paul Adams was looking at reports from all over the galaxy. The ancient bases were not just stopping wars, they were also helping people. On worlds where there was hunger, the bases were making food. On worlds where there was sickness, the bases were making medicine. "Sir," said his assistant, "the bases are helping millions of people. But the governments of those worlds are not happy. They say we are interfering." "What do you think we should do?" General Adams asked. "I think we need to make a choice. We can either use this power to help people, or we can turn it off and let the galaxy solve its own problems." Alex Chun was thinking the same thing. The grid was showing him all the suffering in the galaxy. He could help so many people with just a thought. But he also knew that if humans became the galaxy's protectors, other species would never learn to protect themselves. "Dr. Foster," he said, "I think I know why the ancient humans gave up their power. It was not because they were bad people. It was because they were too good. They helped everyone so much that no one else learned to help themselves." Amy nodded. "And now we have to make the same choice they did." The galaxy was waiting to see what humans would do. Would they use their power to control others? Would they help everyone and make them dependent? Or would they find a different way? Alex looked at the ancient metal structure. "What should we do?" he asked it. The answer came back in his mind. "That choice is yours to make. We can only show you the path. You must decide which way to walk." The galaxy was quiet after the great battle. The ancient human technology had stopped all the fighting, but now everyone was waiting to see what would happen next. On Earth, the human leaders were meeting to make the biggest decision in there. History.Alex. Sean had been connected to the defense grid for 2 weeks straight. His friends were worried about him. Dr. Amy Foster could see that the connection was changing him. His eyes glowed a little, and sometimes he seemed to know things that were happening on the other side of the galaxy. "Alex, you need to rest," Amy told him. "You have been connected too long." Alex shook his head. "I cannot rest. The grid is showing me everything. There are so many people suffering. I can help them all. But should you?" Amy asked. "The ancient humans had the same power. Look what happened to them." Alex touched the metal structure again. Suddenly, his mind was filled with memories that were not his own. He saw the ancient humans as they really were, not evil conquerors, but good people who wanted to help everyone. "They were just like us," Alex said quietly. "They found people who were hungry, so they gave them food. They found people who were sick, so they healed them. They found people who were fighting, so they stopped the wars. That sounds good, Amy said. It was good, but it was also bad. After a while, nobody else learned to make their own food. Nobody else learned to heal their own sick people. Nobody else learned to make peace. Everyone just waited for the ancient humans to fix everything. Amy understood. So the other species became like children. Yes, and the ancient humans became like parents of the whole galaxy. But that is not what they wanted. They wanted everyone to be equal. General Paul Adams was in a meeting with Senator Corin White and other Earth leaders. They were trying to decide what to do with the ancient technology. The grid is offering to make us the protectors of the galaxy, General Adams said. We could end all wars, stop all hunger, and heal all sickness. Senator White looked worried. But if we do that, we will be controlling everyone. Is that what we want? Maybe we do not have a choice, said another leader. The technology is already active. We cannot just turn it off. Actually, we can, said a voice from the door. It was Alex Chun. He had finally left the desert and come to the meeting. The grid will do whatever we tell it to do. It will protect the galaxy, or it will go back to sleep. The choice is ours. Ambassador Lisa Martinez was still on the space station, but now she was the most important person in the galaxy. Every alien leader wanted to talk to her. Some were begging Earth to use the ancient technology to help their people. Others were demanding that Earth shut it down. Ambassador Martinez, said the leader of the Althan Coalition, our worlds are dying. Our suns are getting cold. The ancient human technology could save us. Please help us. Lisa felt sad for them. I understand your need, but we are still deciding what to do. While you decide, millions of my people will die. The Althan leader said. In another meeting, the Krellin Empire leader was angry. You humans have been spying on us for thousands of years. Your technology is on our worlds without our permission. This is an act of war. The ancient humans put that technology there to protect everyone, Lisa said. We did not know about it either. That does not matter. You control it now. That makes you responsible for what it does. Dr. Amy Foster was studying the ancient records that Alex had found. The grid had shown them the complete history of the ancient human civilization. It was not what anyone expected. They were not trying to control the galaxy, Amy told the Earth leaders. They were trying to save it. They saw a great danger coming, something that would destroy all life in the galaxy. What kind of danger? Senator White asked. The records are not clear, but it was something from outside the galaxy, something that destroys civilizations. The ancient humans built the defense grid to protect everyone from this threat. Did they stop it? General Adams asked. Yes, but at a great cost. To defeat the threat, they had to give up their physical forms. They became part of the grid itself. That is why the technology seems alive. It is alive. It has the minds of millions of ancient humans inside it. This news changed everything. The ancient humans had not just built the defense grid, they had become the defense grid. They were still there, watching and waiting. Alex Chun could feel them now. When he connected to the grid, he could hear their voices. They were not giving him orders. They were giving him advice. What do you think we should do? Alex asked them. The same thing we did, came the answer. Protect the galaxy, but do it better than we did. Do not make our mistakes. What mistakes? We helped too much. We made other species depend on us. When we had to sacrifice ourselves to stop the great threat, we left everyone helpless. Do not let that happen again. Captain Ryan Brooks was exploring the outer edge of the galaxy. The ancient technology had shown him things that no living person had ever seen. There were signs of the old threat everywhere. Dead worlds, empty space where star systems used to be. and strange energy patterns that made his ship's computers act strange. "Captain," said Tom, "the ancient bases are scanning everything out. Here, they are looking for something." "What are they looking for?" "I think they are making sure the old threat is really gone. But they are also watching for new threats." Ryan realized that the ancient humans had not just built the defense grid for the threats that existed then. They had built it for all the threats that might come in the future. Back on Earth, the human leaders were having the hardest discussion of their lives. The grid was asking them to make a choice. They could accept the role of galactic protectors, or they could let the grid go back to sleep. "If we accept," Senator White said, "we will have to watch over the entire galaxy. We will have to make decisions about wars, disasters, and conflicts on thousands of worlds. But if we do not accept," General Adams said, "people will die. Wars will start again. The galaxy will go back to the way it was before." Alex Chun spoke up. "There is a third option. We can share the responsibility." "What do you mean?" Amy asked. "Instead of humans controlling the grid, we can let all species control it together." The ancient humans made the mistake of trying to do everything themselves. We can do it differently. Ambassador Lisa Martinez was thinking the same thing. She had been talking to alien leaders for weeks. Some of them were wise and good. Others were not, but together they might be able to make better decisions than any one species could make alone. "I have an idea," she told the Earth leaders over the video screen. "What if we create a new kind of government? Not just for Earth, but for the whole galaxy. Every species gets a vote. Every world gets a say. Would the aliens agree to that?" Senator White asked. "Some would. Others would not. But it might be better than letting one species control everything." The ancient humans in the grid were excited by this idea. They had never thought of sharing control with other species. They had always assumed that one species had to be in charge. "This could work," they told Alex. "But it will not be easy. Different species think differently. They want different things. Making them work together will be very hard." "But not impossible?" Alex asked. "No, not impossible. Just very, very difficult." The galaxy was waiting for Earth's answer. Some species were preparing for war in case humans decided to control everything. Others were preparing to surrender in case humans decided to help everyone. But a few species were preparing for something else. They were preparing to work together with humans to build something new. Alex Chin disconnected from the grid and looked at Dr. Foster. "I know what we have to do," he said. "But it is going to be the hardest thing anyone has ever tried." "What is it?" "We have to teach the galaxy to take care of itself. We have to use the ancient technology to help other species become strong enough that they do not need us anymore." Amy smiled. "That is exactly what the ancient humans should have done." "Yes, but they were too afraid to try. They thought other species were not ready. We have to trust that they are ready now." The choice was made. Earth would not become the galaxy's ruler. Earth would not abandon the galaxy to its fate. Instead, Earth would try to do something that had never been done before: create a galaxy where all species work together as equals. It was a beautiful idea. But making it work would be the hardest challenge humans had ever faced. 5 years had passed since the Great Decision. The galaxy was very different now. Instead of many separate governments, there was one big government that included all species. They called it the Galactic Democracy. Ambassador Lisa Martinez was now Chancellor Martinez, the leader of the new government. She worked in a huge space station that orbited between Earth and the alien homeworlds. Every day, she met with leaders from hundreds of different species. "Chancellor Martinez," said the representative from the Vorthan Republic, "our mining ships are having trouble with space pirates near the outer rim." Lisa nodded. "I will send Captain Brooks and his patrol fleet to help." They should be there. In 3 days, the Vorthan representative smiled. Thank you. It is good to know that help is always available. This was how the new system worked. When any species had a problem, they could ask the galactic democracy for help. The ancient human technology was still there, but it was used by everyone, not just humans. Alex Chun had become the grid commander. He was the person who connected human minds to the ancient technology. But he was not the only one anymore. The grid had learned to work with other species too. There were now grid commanders from 12 different alien races. Alex, said Zara, a blue-skinned alien who is also a grid commander. The system on Kepler 452b is asking for help. Their sun is getting too hot. Alex touched the metal interface that connected him to the grid. I can see the problem. The star is going through a natural change. We can build a shield around their planet to protect them. Should we ask the Galactic Council first? Zara asked. Yes, we never act without permission, no. That was the mistake the ancient humans made. They did everything without asking. Captain Ryan Brooks was no longer just exploring space. He was now the leader of the Galactic Protection Fleet. His ships were built using technology from many different species, including the ancient human designs. Captain Brooks, came a voice over his radio, we have a situation in the Andromeda sector. 2 species are fighting over a planet. Ryan sighed. This happened often. Even with the new government, some species still wanted to fight. What is the dispute about? Both species say the planet belongs to them. They have been fighting for 6 months. Are they willing to accept mediation? The Kaleri say yes. The Vextans say no. Ryan activated his ship's faster-than-light drive. We will be there in 2 hours. Contact the Galactic Council and ask them to send a mediation team. Dr. Amy Foster was now the director of the Institute for Ancient Human Studies. She had research centers on 43 different worlds. Her job was to study the ancient human technology and share what she learned with everyone. Dr. Foster, said her assistant Marcus, we found another ancient base. This one is different. Amy looked at the pictures on her screen. The base was huge, bigger than anything they had found before. Where is it? It is in the Magellanic Clouds, outside our galaxy. The long-range scanners just found it. Amy felt excited. That means the ancient humans went to other galaxies too. We need to tell the Council immediately. The discovery was amazing. The ancient humans had not just protected one galaxy, they had protected many galaxies. There were defense grids and protection systems spread across the entire local group. Of galaxies. Alex Chun was in the council chambers when the news came. Representatives from 200 different species were there. When they heard about the discovery, everyone started talking at once. This changes everything, said the representative from the Alphan Coalition. If there are ancient human bases in other galaxies, we need to contact them. But what if those bases are controlled by different versions of humans? Asked the Kraulen representative. What if they are not friendly? Chancellor Martinez stood up. We will approach this carefully. We will send a small exploration team first. If they find other humans, we will establish peaceful contact. Alex raised his hand. Chancellor, the grid is telling me something important. The bases in other galaxies are not just defenses. They are refuges. What do you mean? The ancient humans prepared for the possibility that their own galaxy might be destroyed. They built places where survivors could go to start over. The room became very quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing. If the ancient humans needed refuges, what kind of threats were they afraid of? Captain Ryan Brooks was chosen to lead the exploration mission to the other galaxy. His ship was upgraded with the most advanced technology available. The team included humans, aliens, and grid commanders from many species. Captain, said Zara, who was also on the mission, the grid is showing me the route to the ancient base. It is a long journey, 3 months even with our fastest ships. What will we find there? Ryan asked. I do not know. The grid says the base has been active, but it has not communicated with our galaxy for 50,000 years. The journey to the other galaxy was long and dangerous. They passed through areas of space where strange energies made their instruments act strangely. But the ancient technology protected them. When they finally reached the base, they found something incredible. It was not just a base, it was a complete world. Cities covered the surface, and millions of people lived there. But they were not all human. Captain Brooks, came a voice over the radio. This is Administrator Sarah Kim of the Magellanic Sanctuary. We have been waiting for you for a very long time. Ryan was amazed. You are human? Some of us are. Others are from species that fled here when their home galaxies were destroyed. We are all survivors. The people on the sanctuary world had been watching the Milky Way galaxy for thousands of years. They had seen the ancient humans sacrifice themselves to stop the great threat. They had seen the galaxy develop without human guidance. And they had seen the new galactic democracy form. We are very proud of what you have accomplished, Administrator Kim told the exploration team. You have done something we never thought possible. You have created a galaxy where all species work together. What about the threat that destroyed other galaxies? Ryan asked. Is it still out there? Yes, it moves slowly, but it is still coming. It destroys entire galaxies and feeds on their energy. The ancient humans stopped it once, but it will return. Alex. Chun felt a chill. How long do we have? Perhaps 1,000 years, maybe more. The threat moves between galaxies very slowly, but when it arrives, it will try to destroy everything. The exploration team returned to the Milky Way with this knowledge. The Galactic Council met in emergency session. The news was frightening, but it also brought the galaxy together even more. We have 1,000 years to prepare, Chancellor Martinez told the Council. That is more time than any civilization has ever had to get ready for a threat. What do we need to do? Asked the representative from the Zorvan people. Alex Chun stood up. We need to do what the ancient humans could not do. We need to unite. Not just our galaxy, but all the galaxies in the local group. We need to create a defense that is stronger than anything that has ever existed. How? Asked the Krallen representative. Together. Humans cannot do it alone. No single species can. But all of us working together might be able to. The years that followed were the most productive in galactic history. Species that had been enemies for centuries learned to work together. The ancient human technology was combined with the best. Ideas from hundreds of different civilizations' schools were built where children from all species learned together. Young humans played with young aliens. They grew up thinking of each other as friends, not foreigners. Dr. Amy Foster opened a school on Earth where alien children came to learn about human history. Human children went to alien worlds to learn about their cultures. For the first time in galactic history, everyone was truly working together. This is what the ancient humans wanted, Amy told Alex one day. They were watching human and alien children playing together in the schoolyard. Yes, Alex said, but they were too afraid to try it. They thought other species were not ready. Were they right? Maybe they were right then, but they are ready now. Look at them. In the playground, a young human girl was helping a young alien boy who had fallen down. The alien boy had 4 arms and green skin, but the human girl did not care. She just wanted to help her friend. That is the future, Alex said. When those children grow up, they will not see each other as different species. They will just see each other as friends. The galaxy was preparing for the great threat that would come in 1,000 years. But it was also building something beautiful. A civilization where all beings could live together in peace. Captain Ryan Brooks was now an old man, but he still flew his ship among the stars. He had seen the galaxy change from a place of war and fear to a place of cooperation and hope. "Tom," he said to his old friend, "do you think we will be ready when the threat comes?" Tom, who was also old now, smiled. "I think we will be more than ready. We will be something the universe has never seen before, a galaxy that truly works together." The ancient humans had protected the galaxy by sacrificing themselves. The new generation was protecting the galaxy by learning to live together. It was a better way, and in the depths of space, the ancient defense grid watched over everything, no longer carrying the burden alone. It was shared now by all the species of the galaxy, working together to build a future that would last forever. The galaxy was ready for whatever came next.